I had two felonies before I had a driver's license. The first one, I was 11 years old in the sixth grade, Surfside Elementary School in Panama City, Florida. Most people hear that and they already know how the story ends, dead or in prison. Statistically, that is exactly where I was heading as a kid. And I'm going to tell you why it didn't go that way and why your past is not the thing running your life, even when it feels like it. Here's what actually happened. I got kicked out of school. Actually, they came into the door. They arrested me in the classroom, put cuffs on me, no parent or lawyer present, and then took me in. That's a separate whole story. But nonetheless, I got kicked out of that school, and I picked up my first felony for burglary conveyance. That's the legal way of saying I broke into a car and stole some stuff. And that's what the thing was doing. That's what we were doing in this gang, is we were robbing stuff, and then they were selling it or whatever. And that's how we were doing things. 11 years old. They moved me, my mom moved me 2 schools over because the next school wouldn't take me, and I was on probation. And at the new school, I got caught with a weapon on school grounds. That was felony number 2 because I was on probation. And luckily for my mom, because of my mom, and pleading with everybody in the entire county, I got probation for community service for 3 years. So no long-term jail time, just 3 years of community service, which at that age felt like an eternity. So now I'm a kid with 2 felonies and a probation officer, and the adults around me had really already filed me under a lost cause. I got lucky. Like I said, I didn't do hard time. The judge gave me 3 years of community service, some classes, and some counseling instead. But make no mistake, I was on track. I was on the track, the one that ends right where everybody predicted. So what changed? It wasn't that I suddenly believed in myself. It wasn't a speech. It wasn't a structure. That judge, whether he meant to do it or not, put a system around me. Something to be, somewhere to be, something to do, someone that's checking on me. And for the first time, my days had rails. And here's what I learned. And it took me years to say this plainly. A man's background does not decide his outcome. His systems do. Talent doesn't. Luck doesn't. Where you come from doesn't. The structure you live inside does. Put a bad kid in a good system and watch what happens. So think about that. Here I am, 2 felonies, make it almost impossible to get in the military. And I had to fight for it. They said no. I had to convince them that I was worth the risk. And I went from 2 felonies to a Marine, from a lost cause to an honor graduate at a recruit training, and then to a reconnaissance Marine, and then to a Marine Raider. Same kid, different system. So if you're using your past as the reason your life looks the way it does right now, hear this from a 2-time felon who had every excuse there is. Your past is real, but it's not in charge of you unless you let it. If that's the story that you want to tell yourself, then that's the story it's going to be. I could have been the guy who is, a victim of his circumstance, right? Grew up in Florida, single mom, and 2 felonies and a gang, and we go down that road, high school dropout, and then we know where that goes, right? We see plenty of those people in Florida and any other state living that life. Or it could be a story of perseverance through adversity. One that is a high school dropout, 2 felonies, ends up joining the Marine Corps, becomes company honor grad out of recruit training, ends up becoming a reconnaissance Marine, then a Marine Raider, and then ends up graduating with multiple degrees and ends up with a master's degree, and then ends up a doctor, because I'm in a doctoral program now. So by 2028, I'll be a doctor. I'll be Dr. Koumalatsos. So what's actually running your life today is the system you live inside of. No structure, no accountability, nobody checking in, and then you drift right back toward whatever they predicted for you. So I built a free series called Reclaim the Man Within to help you put the first rails back onto your life. The link is in the description. It costs you absolutely nothing. Again, same man, different system. That is the whole game. If you want the book, I also just launched the book version on Amazon. The link is below. This book already is absolutely killing it with the audience, and I'm very proud. The stories in it, my personal stories, the stories of the men in the Agoge, the ones that, like you, who changed their system and changed their outcome. See you guys in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Remember to like it. Remember to drop me a comment. I want to respond to it. I'm actually the one responding to the comments. And if you like this video, you're going to absolutely love this one right here.